Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Elise Reads and Speaks. Today, I am bringing you my book outlet book haul. Alright, so I don't really like to spend money on books. However, there were just so many good deals on Book Outlet, so I decided to make it a game with myself. So if you're not familiar with Book Outlet, if you go on this site and you spend $35, your shipping is free. So it's like you need to get to $35. However, I just kept adding more and more stuff to my cart, and then I was like, okay, this is too much. This is too much. What parameters can I set for myself? So I decided to try and like keep it under 50 and see how many books that I could get that I was interested in. That's the key, okay? You can't just buy books that you're not interested in. How many books could I buy that I was interested in, keeping it under $50? And I came up with 16 books, which I thought was pretty awesome. I got 16 books for about 44 bucks, and that's including tax, and my shipping was free. All right, so I got my shipment in, and I can't remember everything that I got, so that I figured that I would just unpack it with you guys so that you can see what I got. Anything that I'm like not familiar with, I'll read the blurb on the back, but if they're like super common books, like I know that A Curse So Dark and Lonely is in this one, so I'm not gonna go through that with you. You know what that one's about. Okay, let's see what we've got in my box. First one, we have the fourth book in School for Good and Evil. So I have books 1, 2, 3, and 5, and I know that I needed to fill that fourth book quota, and I needed it to be hard cover because where I was going, they had soft cover, and I can't have a series that doesn't match. Book number 2 is The Silver Gate. I do not remember what this is about. Okay, let's see. In Shepherd Boy Eldrick's tiny village, people think children like his sister Wynne are changelings left by fairies as a curse on the community. Wynne was born with developmental delays. Oh, that's what set it off for me. Remember, SLP, I work with kids with developmental delays. That's why I wanted to read this. And according to the rules, she was supposed to be abandoned in the woods. Instead, Eldrick's mother saved his sister and hid her away for 11 years. They live in fear of being discovered, yet their home is always full of laughter, love, and singing. Wynne and I've been calling him Eldrick. It's Elric. Elric's favorite song is about the Silver Gate, a beautiful fairy realm where all children are welcome. But when their long-absent father returns to sell Wynne to the Lord's castle as a maid. What a douche. Elric realizes that folk songs and fantasies can't protect them from the outside world. They have to run away. Still, Wynne believes there's only one place they'll ever be safe, and it lies beyond the Silver Gate. Okay, that does sound good. Okay. I was curious, like, as I'm going through these, or am I gonna still think that they sound good? So far, we're good. Let's see what's next. All right, The Imposter Queen. They chose her as queen. They chose wrong. Great tagline. Okay, that one sucked me in, but I don't actually know what the story's about. All right, 16-year-old Ellie was only a child when she was chosen by the elders of Kupari to succeed the Valsha, the queen who wields infinitely powerful ice and fire magic in service of her people. The only life Ellie has known has been in the temple, surrounded by luxury, tutored by magic-wielding priests, preparing for the day when the queen perishes. This sounds fabulous. And the ice and fire find a new home in Ellie, who is prophesied to be the most powerful Valsha to ever rule. But when the queen dies defending the kingdom from invading warriors, the magic doesn't enter Ellie. It's nowhere to be found. Disgraced, Ellie flees to the Outlands, home of banished criminals, some of whom would love to see the temple burn with all its priests inside. As she finds her footing in this new world, along with a few unlikely allies, Ellie uncovers devastating new information about the Kupari magic, those who wield it, and the prophecy itself. Torn between her love for her people and her growing loyalty to the vanished, Ellie struggles to understand the true role she was meant to play. But as war looms, she must choose the right side before the kingdom and its magic are completely destroyed. That sounds like fantasy magic that I'll be trash for. This sounds right up my alley. I told you, one of my favorite tropes is the girl that takes back her throne. It seems like this throne wasn't meant for her, but she's gonna try and take it back anyway. Good. They chose her as queen. They chose wrong. That's a good one. All right, let's see what we've got next. Debutantes and Daggers. What's the tagline here? Okay, a lady never starts a fight, but she'll finish it. All right. That doesn't look like a big blurb. Let's see. Harper Price is the ultimate Southern belle, a homecoming queen, completely type A. And then Harper's perfect world is transformed. She becomes a paladin, a member of an ancient line of guardians with super strength and the battle instincts of a warrior. Too bad she's charged with protecting David Stark, her least favorite person. We know what's gonna happen there. Whose destiny could very well be destroying the Earth. If Buffy the Vampire Slayer was Southern instead of SoCal, raised on good manners, cotillion, and sweet tea, she would be Harper Price. All right. This sounds fabulous, doesn't it? Debutantes and Daggers. Okay, we're on a good roll so far. Like 4 for 4. Pretty good. Next one is A Want So Wicked. Yes, I was thinking this is one that I picked because of the author, Suzanne Young. I read the program by her and I really liked it. I know that that's one of those controversial books, but I was like, all right, let me give something by her a shot. Some of these books that I picked up were like $1, or I believe some were 79 cents, that I was like, if it sounds remotely good, I gotta try it. All right, but again, I still remember what this one is about. A Want So Wicked. Oh, that's why I picked it, because the name of the main girl is Elise. How could I not? Elise is a normal 17-year-old girl until the day she wakes up in a desert park with no idea who she is. After that episode, her life takes a bizarre turn. She's experiencing unexpected flashes of insight into people's lives. People she's never met before. Strangers frighten her with warnings about the approaching shadows. And although Elise has never had a boyfriend, she suddenly finds herself torn between two handsome but very different young men. Abe, the charming bad boy whose effect on her both seduces and frightens her, and the mysterious Harlan, who's new to town, but with whom Elise feels an urgent elemental connection, almost as if they were soulmates. Now Elise begins to question everything about her life. Why do these guys both want her so desperately? What are the shadows? Why does the name Charlotte inspire a terrifying familiarity? And who is Elise, really? Yeah, I want to know the answer to that question too. Who is Elise? All right, we're doing good so far. 5 for 5. Let's see what we got next. Staying Fat for Sarah Barnes. You know, I probably picked this on the title alone. Staying Fat for Sarah Barnes. Eric Calhoun and Burns. Eric Calhoun and Sarah Burns have been friends for years, bonding over their shared status as outcasts. He was fat and she had terrible scars on her hands and her face. Now Sarah Burns sits silently in a hospital and no one knows why. Eric must pore over his memories and recruit unlikely allies to uncover Sarah's terrible secret before it destroys them both. Yeah, that does sound good. I wonder what the staying fat has to do with it though. Like, I'll let you know when I get to it. All right, 6 for 6. Next is the doll maker of Cracow. Caroline is a living doll whose king and queen in the land of dolls have been overthrown. But when a strange wind spirits her away, she soon finds herself in Cracow, Poland, in the company of a doll maker, a man with an unusual power and a marked past. The doll maker has learned to keep to himself, but Caroline's courageous and compassionate manner not only help him to smile, he even befriends a violin-playing father and his daughter. That is, once they get over the shock of hearing a doll speak to them. The four become fast and true friends. But their newfound happiness is dashed when Nazi soldiers descend upon Poland. Carolina and the dollmaker quickly realize that their Jewish friends are in grave danger, and they are determined to help save them no matter what the risk. Okay, that sounds really good. And this was middle grade. I do remember picking this one out. This was middle grade. I'm hoping it's one of those like rare gems that you find in middle grade that turns out to be awesome. But again, I will let you know. Let's see what we got next. Light as a Feather, a Hulu original series. I have not heard of this on Hulu, but if I like the book, I will look it up. And I'm sure that I just picked it for the title, Light as a Feather. Like, a kid in the 90s, like, did you even really go to a sleepover if you didn't play Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board? Probably not. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Everybody played it. All right. It was supposed to be a game. Junior year is shaping up to be the best year of McKenna Brady's life. After a transformative summer, McKenna is welcomed into the elite group of popular girls at Weeping Willow High, led by the gorgeous Olivia Richmond. For the first time in a long time, things are looking up. But everything changes the night of Olivia's Sweet 16 sleepover. Violet, the mysterious new girl in town, suggests the girls play a game. We know what that game is. during which Violet makes up elaborate, creepily specific stories about future ways the friends will die. Okay, apparently we didn't know what that game was. Though it unsettles McKenna, it all seems harmless at the time, until a week later when Olivia dies, exactly the way Violet predicted. As Violet rises to popularity and steps into the life Olivia left unfinished, McKenna becomes convinced Olivia's death wasn't just a coincidence, especially when a discontented spirit haunting her bedroom keeps leaving clues that point to Violet. With the help of her cute neighbor Trey, of course, you gotta have the cute neighbor in there, McKenna pledges to get to the bottom of Violet's secrets and true intentions before it's too late, because it's only a matter of time before more lives are lost. Okay, that is not the game of light as a feather, stiff as a board that I'm aware of, okay? The game that I remember is when you put your two fingers out and you stick them under the girl that's laying like flat like a board, and you all go, light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board, and you raise her up into the air. Okay, there was nothing with predicting people's deaths. I mean, did you play a different game than I did? If you did, please let me know down below. All right, let's see what we got next. All right, next is the gallery. I think this was middle grade. I think, let's see. Something is afoot in the Sewell mansion. 12-year-old Martha, yeah, that sounds middle grade. The new kitchen maid, kitchen maid at 12 years old. Rough, dude, rough life, sorry. She's gonna find out what it is. Millionaire heiress Rose Sewell was once the talk of the town, but no one has heard from her in ages. She hasn't left her room in years. Her newspaper magnate husband, okay, so that one is not 12 years old if she has a husband. Okay, well, he has a staff to tend to his eccentric wife, so he can instead focus on tending to his riches. Alphonse, the footman, knows a great deal more than he'll admit. Martha's ma, the head of the household staff, oversees everything, but is blind to the most obvious, devastating deception of all. And at the center of this house, filled with secrets, sits the gallery, which just might be the key to revealing what everyone is hiding. All right. I'm guessing I picked this one because of the cover. Like, the description sounds okay. It just sounds okay. But look, this really is beautiful. Let me see if I can get it to focus a little better. There we go. How pretty is that? Okay, but again, I'll let you know. That one sounds like, so far out of the books I read, it sounds like, okay, it's gonna be all right. All right, let's see what we've got. Oh, here is A Curse So Dark and Lonely. In case you're not familiar with this one, it's all over Booktube. It's like a Beauty and the Beast retelling with some, I believe, disability rep, chronic pain rep. I don't know what kind of disability because I haven't read it. But when people are talking about it and saying how much they love it, and I just love Beauty and the Beast retellings, I love them, so I had to give it a try. Now this one, I know, was not one of the dollar ones on Book Outlet. Like, I was trying to stay $50 and below, and I believe this was probably the most expensive one. Like, I think this was $6 or $7, but I was like, I just gotta add it, okay? I'm still keeping to what I want to spend, but there were some I spent a little bit more on, and I know that this was one of them. All right, let's see. Oh, this one I got specifically because Rachel Marie's book journey, she talks about this one all the time. The Land of Yesterday. If you haven't seen her video on the middle grade reads that she read for 1 week, Song for a Whale is on there. That's how I originally got into Song for a Whale. This one's on there too. She loved it. Apparently it deals with some grief, some tough topics. It is a middle grade read, and how kids deal with grief. Like, I almost don't want to read the blurb, sorry. Sorry that you're missing out on that, but I kind of want to go into it just knowing a little because I want it to take me by force too. But I'm excited to plunge into this one because Rachel Marie made it sound awesome. Oh, my girl, Anne Boleyn. This was one of my higher ones too. So A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and I believe this one was like 6 or 7, one of those. But this is in Alison Ware, however you say her last name. If you know W-E-I-R, please let me know. Where? Don't know. Okay, but she is writing a book on each of the 6 Tudor queens. This is the second one in the series, Anne Boleyn. I don't have the other books in the series. I know I shouldn't start with the second, but I know what happens to the queens, okay? And I know that I love this one and I want to read this book, not all the other ones. I want to read this one. So I am excited to plunge into that one. And look at that. I think that's the first adult book that I have in here. Might be the only adult book. I'm not sure. Let's see what else I've got. Girls with Sharp Sticks. This is another Suzanne Young. So, A Want So Wicked, I believe that was the title of the other one. She was the author of the program, the Want So Wicked, that one had the Elise in it. Okay, Girls with Sharp Sticks, I have heard about on Booktube. I couldn't tell you what it's about though. I've heard a lot of people saying it was great and I don't remember. The girls of Innovations Academy are beautiful and well-behaved. It says so on the report cards. Under the watchful gaze of their guardian, they receive a well-rounded education that promises to make them better. Obedient girls, free from arrogance or defiance, free from troublesome opinions or individual interests. But the girls' carefully controlled existence may not be quite what it seems, as Mina and her friends uncover the dark secrets of what's actually happening there, and who they really are. The girls of Innovations Academy will learn to fight back, bringing the trademark plot... Oh, that's kind of where it ends. I didn't really get a feel for what this is about. I just know that I've heard a lot of people talk about it, like booktubers that I follow, and they said that they loved it, but I really didn't get an idea of what that's about. Okay. Hopefully I love it too. Let's see what else I got. Oh, I have the second one, The Queen's Resistance. I know I have The Queen's Rising somewhere on my shelf, and I really enjoyed The Queen's Rising. I don't know why that one wasn't loved as much as I seem to love it. Like, I know that I've said this in a previous video. I like when kids at school or just characters in the story in general are divided, like in Divergent, how they're divided into factions, at Hogwarts, how they're divided into houses. Like I like things like that, like three dark queens, three dark crowns, how they're divided into elementals and naturalists and poisoners, like the type of magic that they have. I know that this is in here. I forget the exact things that they're separated into at this school, but you could choose to like specialize in something, and they have a special word for that too, and I of course forget what it is, but that's what grabbed me in. It was like 6 of these girls at school with 5 specialties. So yeah, one of them is doubled up, and you could choose to specialize in one of those, like you're a prodigy in that specific subject. And then, I mean, that's not exactly what it's about, because it is called The Queen's Rising and The Queen's Resistance, so that you know that there's a little battle going on. Queen taking back her throne, my fave. Okay, but I'm not gonna go into what the second book is about because I don't want to spoil anything. And honestly, like, I also don't remember what it's about, so perhaps I should tell the truth. That too. All right, I have 2 books left. Next one is The Wicked Deep. I've heard a lot of people talk about this one. Something about sisters being sentenced to death and then they come back. I think they're witches. I don't really remember a lot. I don't feel like reading the back of it because that's like the main gist of it. And oh, the last one that I got for the artwork. Like, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It is so pretty, but I don't have a clue what it's about. Let's see. Ray, Caddis, Suki, and Iron have lived together since they were children. They are called sisters. They are not. They are called equals. They are not. They are princesses, and they are enemies. All right. 3 Dark Crowns vibes. A brutal war ravaged their kingdoms, and Ray's father was victor. As a gesture of peace, King Declan brought the daughters of his rivals to live under his protection and his ever-watchful eye. For 10 years, they have trained together as diplomats and warriors, raised to accept their thrones and unite their kingdoms in peace. But there is no peace among sisters, and all plans shatter when the palace is attacked. As their intended future lies in ashes, Ray, Caddis, Suki, and Iron must decide where their loyalties lie, to their nations or to each other. Yep, that sounds right up my alley. Girls for the throne, yes, give it to me. All right, so that's all 16 books. Like, wasn't that good? 16 bucks for $44. I'm pretty proud of myself. Hopefully I like all of them, and I don't know why I'm buying books because there's so many books on my bookshelf that I just haven't gotten to yet. But you know how it is, all right? You just have to buy books sometimes, okay? Sometimes you just need to make yourself happy in whatever way you can. And I chose my books. I don't regret it. Don't regret it at all. All right, anyway, thanks for tuning in to Elise Reads and Speaks. I will catch you next time, guys. Bye!